Live from New Delhi, you're watching DD India Live, India's voice to the world. I'm Amritpal Singh. Coming up in the next 30 minutes, Prime Minister Narendra Modi says Sikkim and entire Northeast is emerging as a shining chapter in India's progress. US federal court blocks Trump's tariffs from going into effect, says Trump overstepped his authority. White House official confirms Elon Musk's departure from US government. His exit comes one day after he criticized the legislative centerpiece of Trump's agenda. Prime Minister Narendra Modi addressed the Sikkim at 50 celebrations in Gangtok via video conferencing today and congratulated the people of Sikkim on 50 years of remarkable progress. Prime Minister laid the foundation stone and inaugurated multiple development projects in Sikkim. These include a new 500-bedded district hospital worth over 750 crore rupees in the Namchi district, the passenger ropeway at Sangcholing, Pelling in the Gyaltsing district, and the statue of Bharat Ratna Atal Bihari Vajpayee at the Atal Amrit Udyan at Sangkhola in the Gangtok district. Highlighting Sikkim's developmental journey of 50 years, the Prime Minister said that the northeastern state has become a model of progress and has emerged as a symbol of the richness of culture and heritage.
Sikkim सिर्फ हिल स्टेशन नहीं, ग्लोबल टूरिज्म डेस्टिनेशन बने। सिक्किम के सामर्थ्य का कोई मुकाबला ही नहीं है। सिक्किम टूरिज्म का कंप्लीट पैकेज है। यहां प्रकृति भी है, अध्यात्म भी है, यहां झीलें हैं, झरने हैं, पहाड़ है और शांति की छाया में बसे बौद्ध मठ भी है। कंचनजंगा नेशनल पार्क, यूनेस्को वर्ल्ड हेरिटेज साइट, सिक्किम की इस धरोहर पर सिर्फ भारत नहीं, पूरी दुनिया को गर्व है।
And hailing Operation Sindoor, Prime Minister said that India has given a clear message to the whole world that our nation is a strong and fearless nation, which will not tolerate terrorism in any form. He was addressing a gathering in Sikkim as the state is celebrating its 50 years of statehood.
आज पूरी दुनिया देख रही है कि भारत पहले से कहीं ज्यादा एकजुट है। हमने एकजुट होकर आतंकियों और उनके सरपरस्तों को साफ संदेश दिया है। उन्होंने हमारे बेटियों के माथे से सिंदूर पोंछकर उनका जीना हराम कर दिया। हमने आतंकियों को ऑपरेशन सिंदूर से करारा जवाब दिया है।
And Prime Minister Modi also visited Alipurduar district of West Bengal and laid the foundation stone for the city gas distribution project in Alipurduar and the Cooch Behar districts. The project, costing more than 1,010 crore rupees, aims to provide piped natural gas to over 2.5 lakh households and many businesses, along with 19 CNG stations for vehicles. It will provide convenient, reliable, environment-friendly and cost-effective fuel supply and create employment opportunities in the region. Addressing the gathering, the Prime Minister said that the city gas project is a revolutionary step in gas-based economy and has given a boost to this industry.
2014 से पहले देश के 66 जिलों में सिटी गैस की सुविधा थी, आज 550 से ज्यादा जिलों में सिटी गैस डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन नेटवर्क पहुंच चुका है। ये नेटवर्क अब हमारे गांवों और छोटे शहरों तक पहुंच रहा है। लाखों घरों को पाइप से गैस मिल रही है।
And the Prime Minister's next stop was Bihar, where he inaugurated the newly constructed passenger terminal at the Patna airport. The new terminal, built at a cost of around 1,200 crore rupees, can handle 1 crore passengers per year. The Jayaprakash Narayan International Airport houses modern amenities and passenger-friendly features. The expansion is set to boost the airport's annual passenger capacity from 25 lakh to 1 crore. Prime Minister also held a mega roadshow in Patna after the inauguration of the terminal. People from all walks of life gathered to welcome the Prime Minister. Defence Minister Rajnath Singh said that India could have inflicted more damage while retaliating to Pakistan's terror attacks with Operation Sindoor, but it exercised restraint. Addressing the inaugural plenary of the Confederation of Indian Industries annual business summit, the Defence Minister said that to boost self-reliance, recently the execution model for AMCA, or the Advanced Medium Combat Aircraft project, has been approved, which aims to build the 5th generation fighter aircraft in India.
साथियों, आपको जानकर यह खुशी होगी कि रक्षा क्षेत्र में सेल्फ रिलायंस, आत्मनिर्भरता को बढ़ावा देने के लिए अभी 2 दिन पहले एमका प्रोजेक्ट को, जो 5th जनरेशन फाइटर एयरक्राफ्ट भारत में ही बनाने का प्रोजेक्ट है, उसको आगे बढ़ाने की एग्जीक्यूशन मॉडल को मंजूरी दे दी है। ये एक बहुत ही बोल्ड और डिसाइसिव डिसीजन लिया गया है, जो भारत की डिफेंस कैपेबिलिटीज को मजबूती प्रदान करने के साथ साथ इस देश में एरोस्पेस सेक्टर को एक डेप्थ और एक नई हाइट प्रदान करेगा।
Defence Minister asserted that India has redesigned and redefined its strategy in response against terrorism. He added that now talks will only be held on terrorism and Pakistan-occupied Jammu and Kashmir.
हमने आतंकवाद के खिलाफ भारत की स्ट्रेटजी और रिस्पांस दोनों को रीडिजाइन और रीडिफाइन किया है। हमने पाकिस्तान के साथ अपने एंगेजमेंट और स्कोप ऑफ डायलॉग को रीकैलिब्रेट किया है। अब जब भी बात होगी, केवल आतंकवाद पर बात होगी, पीओके पर बात होगी और किसी दूसरे मुद्दे पर पाकिस्तान के साथ बात नहीं होगी।
Rajnath Singh reiterated that POK is a part of India and the people who got geographically and politically separated will sooner or later voluntarily return to India.
भारत हमेशा ही दिलों को जोड़ने की बात करता है और हमें विश्वास है कि प्रेम, एकता और सत्य के मार्ग पर चलकर वह दिन दूर नहीं जब हमारा ही अंग पीओके स्वयं लौटकर कहेगा, मैं भारत हूं, भारत ही हूं, मैं वापस आऊंगा और वापस आया हूं।
And highlighting the need for importance on self-reliance, Air Chief Marshal Amarpreet Singh said that in the current situation globally, it's best to be now ready to be future ready.
Air Force is trying its best to do maximum possible as far as Make in India is concerned, MAKE program, IDEX program, the number of orders that have been given to the Indian industry. Some of the rules that the government made, I'm not saying that we would have come on this path on our own. There were times when we were always, doubting the Indian industry that it cannot give us the kind of return that we want, it cannot give us the product that we want, and we were looking outward more. But over the last decade plus, I think things have changed quite a bit. a knuckle on our, a rap on our knuckles has made us think inward and look inward, and then we realized that yes, there are a lot of opportunities that we have within India, and now also the current situation in the world has made us realize that Atmanirbharta is the only solution. But we have to be now ready to be future ready.
Addressing the summit, the Chief of Naval Staff, Admiral Dinesh Tripathi, elaborated on India's evolving maritime strategy driven by Prime Minister Modi's vision.
India was, India is, and India will always be a maritime nation. Our Honorable Prime Minister, Shri Narendra Modi, had made a clarion call of Sagar in 2015, security and growth for all in the region. And building on this legacy over the last 10 years, the vision has been rightly elevated to Mahasagar, or mutual and holistic advancement of security and growth across regions.
And speaking at the summit, Union Minister Ashwini Vaishnav said that today India's manufacturing sector has increased multifold in just 10 years.
जो इंडस्ट्री प्रैक्टिकली नेग्लिजिबल थी 10 साल पहले इलेक्ट्रॉनिक्स मैन्युफैक्चरिंग, दैट इज नाउ रफली 13 लाख करोड़ के आसपास की इंडस्ट्री है, जहां एक्सपोर्ट्स, इलेक्ट्रॉनिक्स का एक्सपोर्ट्स या मोबाइल फ़ोन का एक्सपोर्ट्स के बारे में नोबडी यूज्ड टू थिंक, वहाँ पे रफली करीब करीब 5 से 5.5 लाख करोड़ का एक्सपोर्ट्स है. टेलीकॉम मैन्युफैक्चरिंग हैज़ ग्रोन मल्टीफोल्ड, 70-80,000 करोड़ रुपीस का टेलीकॉम मैन्युफैक्चरिंग है. डिफेंस मैन्युफैक्चरिंग में डिफेंस का इलेक्ट्रॉनिक्स हैज़ ग्रोन मल्टीफोल्ड, मेडिकल इलेक्ट्रॉनिक्स हैज़ ग्रोन मल्टीफोल्ड. इन सब का जब भी आप इंडस्ट्री के लोगों से बात करते हैं, जनरल सेंस इज दैट जो 30 साल में नहीं हुआ वो 10 साल में हुआ.
India's Minister for Communications and Development of the Northeastern region, Jyotiraditya Scindia, on Thursday highlighted the growing role of Northeastern states at the summit. Minister Scindia said that the Northeastern states are growing at a decadal growth rate of 12 to 13% compared to India's growth rate of 6.75 to 7%.
My Northeast 8 states are not growing at 2.75%, decadal growth rate. They are not growing at 6.757%. They are growing at a decadal growth rate of 12 to 13%. So they indeed will be the engines of growth of India. They are the engines of growth of India. 36 states and union territories. And if you think of India as a train with 36 bogies, these 8 are the engine of India, ladies and gentlemen.
India has made it clear that any engagement with Pakistan, as and when it happens, has to be only bilateral. Spokesperson of the Ministry of External Affairs stated that talks and terror cannot go together. He added that the Indus water treaties will remain in abeyance till Pakistan continues to support cross-border terrorism.
Any India-Pakistan engagement has to be bilateral. At the same time, we are clear that talks and terror don't go together. On terrorism itself, we are open to discussing the handing over to to India of noted terrorists whose list was given to Pakistan some years ago. I would like to underline that any bilateral discussion on Jammu and Kashmir will only be on the vacation of illegally occupied Indian territory by Pakistan, and on the Indus Water Treaty, it will remain in abeyance until Pakistan credibly and irrevocably abjures its support for cross-border terrorism.
And the spokesperson informed that 3 Indians are missing in Iran, and India is in touch with Iranian authorities for their safety, security and for their safe return home.
On the question of missing Indians in Iran, you would have seen a statement made by our embassy as well in Iran. The 3 Indian nationals who had landed there some time back, they are missing, and we are in touch with the Iranian authorities. We are for locating them, for their safety and security, and for their eventual return home. We are in daily touch with the authorities there. We are receiving good cooperation from the Iranian side, and we are also in touch with the families. Obviously, family members in such situations, they have their own anxiety, etc. So we are extending all possible help. Hopefully, we'll be able to do our best in this situation.
President Draupadi Murmu addressed the literary conference at Rashtrapati Bhavan in New Delhi today. The two-day conference will showcase various sessions, including the Poets' Meet, Feminist Literature of India, Change in Literature versus Literature of Change, and the new directions of Indian literature in global perspective. While addressing the gathering, the President said that the modern literature should not be confined to didactic teachings or moral codes, but must serve as a reflective and experiential journey for both writers and readers.
आज का साहित्य उपदेशात्मक नहीं हो सकता, आज का साहित्य प्रवचन नहीं हो सकता, आज का साहित्य नीति ग्रंथ नहीं हो सकता। आज का साहित्यकार सहयात्री की तरह साथ साथ चलता है, देखता है और दिखाता है, अनुभव करता है और करवाता है। मैं आशा करती हूं कि इस साहित्य सम्मेलन में वक्ताओं और प्रतिभागियों के बीच रचनात्मक प्रभाव स्थापित होगा।
And still to come up on this edition of DD India Live, U.S. envoy for Syria raises American flag over ambassador's residence in Damascus after 2012. Kremlin says Ukraine has yet to answer Russian proposal for holding the June 2nd talks.
Geopolitics and trade deals. Economic challenges amid development. Hard work and the path to prosperity. It's the economy always. Between walkers, money is what money does and says. Supply creates its own demand. Between the bulls pulls and bears tears. When supply chains globalization and India rises to the podium. We'll get you centered with the economic brief at 8 p.m. every Thursday on DD India.
You're watching DD India Live. I'm Amritpal Singh. The U.S. envoy for Syria, Thomas Barak, raised the American flag over the ambassador's residence in Damascus on Thursday for the first time since the U.S. embassy closed in that country in 2012. That was a year after the conflict broke out. After months of relatively little engagement with Syria's new administration, the U.S. has rapidly built ties in recent weeks. U.S. President Donald Trump met with Syria's new president, Ahmed al-Sharaa, in Riyadh in mid-May, and his administration eased U.S. sanctions on the country. Barak, who's also the U.S. ambassador to Turkey, was named as Syria's U.S. envoy on the 23rd of May and is on his first official visit to the country. The U.S. closed its embassy in Damascus in February 2012, nearly a year after protests against then-President Bashar al-Assad broke out. In a major blow to Trump's trade agenda, a federal court has blocked most of his sweeping import tariffs, ruling that they exceeded the presidential authority. The decision halts one of the boldest moves in Trump's America First trade war and could have broader implications for executive power. Take a look at this report.
In a ruling that shook Washington and global markets, a three-judge panel on the Court of International Trade blocked most of the import tariffs imposed by Donald Trump during his time in office. The judges said the president overstepped his legal bounds, using emergency powers meant for national security threats to launch a sweeping global trade offensive. The court found that the 1977 International Emergency Economic Powers Act, or the IEEPA, does not give the president unlimited authority to impose tariffs, especially on nearly every country in the world. The White House called the decision an affront by unelected judges and insisted the administration would continue to fight what it calls a crisis in trade. The ruling also quashes duties that Trump imposed on Canada, Mexico, and China separately using emergency powers. Analysts warn the legal uncertainty could further rattle financial markets already on edge. Trump defended his tariff threats by saying it's called negotiations and went on to claim that the US has been very nice to China.
You mean because I reduced China from 145% that I set down to 100 and then down to another number, and I gave the European Union a 50% tax tariff, and they called up and they said, please, let's meet right now. Please, let's meet right now. And I said, okay, I'll give you till July 9. I actually asked them, I said, what's the date? Because they weren't willing to meet. And after I did what I did, they said, we'll meet anytime you want. And we have an end date of July 9th. You call that chickening out? 6 months ago, this country was stone cold dead. We had a dead country. We had a country people didn't think it was going to survive, and you ask a nasty question like that. It's called negotiation. You said a number.
The Trump administration has already filed an appeal, but for now, most of the tariffs are on hold. That appeal could take months to resolve, and its outcome may shape the balance of power between the Congress and the White House for years to come. Wall Street shares briefly bounced on Tuesday after Trump delayed the levies over the long holiday weekend, although markets were down again Wednesday. Bureau Report, DD India.
Elon Musk has announced that his term as the chief of the Department of Government Efficiency has come to an end, thanking President Trump for the opportunity to reduce wasteful spending. Musk concluded his tenure as a special government employee tasked with leading a high-profile push to streamline federal bureaucracy. Musk's departure follows closely on heels of his public criticism of Trump's signature legislative proposal, a sweeping tax and immigration bill the president has dubbed his Big Beautiful Bill. The Kremlin on Thursday said that it was still waiting for a response from Ukraine on Russia's proposal to hold the next round of peace talks. Earlier on Wednesday, Russia proposed the new round of direct negotiations with Ukraine in Istanbul on the 2nd of June to achieve a sustainable peace settlement. The Reserve Bank of India has ramped up its gold reserves to 879.58 metric tons, with an increase of 57.48 tons over the previous year, according to the central bank's annual report for 2024-2025. The Indian economy is poised to remain the fastest growing major economy in 25-26 by leveraging its sound macroeconomic fundamentals, robust financial sector and commitment towards sustainable growth, the RBI has said in its latest report. The stage is set for qualifier 1 of this year's Indian Premier League as table toppers Punjab Kings will take on Royal Challengers in Mullapur on Thursday. PBKS secured top 2 finish on Monday after beating Mumbai Indians before the RCB joined them after forging a stunning win over Lucknow Super Giants in the final league game of IPL 2025 on Tuesday. Both teams finished with 19 points from 14 matches, but Punjab Kings have finished at the top with a better net run rate. There is, of course, plenty at stake in Thursday's clash with a spot in the final awaiting, but the losing side will still get a chance to play in the quarterfinal qualifier 2. At least that should ease the nerves of all around for both teams. Hosts Inter Miami secured a much-needed 4-2 victory over Montreal in the Major League Soccer tournament on Thursday. Luis Suarez and Lionel Messi each finished with 2 goals and an assist to lead Inter Miami to a home victory. Inter Miami secured a win for only the second time in its past 9 matches across all competitions. They also snapped a 4-match winless streak and moved into the 6th place in the standings. Inter Miami will next face Columbus on Sunday. And that's it in this edition of DD India Live, but do let us know your thoughts on the news of the day. For those on the go, you can get all the latest news and updates from India and across the world on DD India's mobile app. The app is available on both Android and iOS platforms. Scan the QR codes that you see on your screens to download. We'll be back with more news as it breaks here on DD India. I'm Amritpal Singh from my entire team here in Delhi. Thanks for watching DD India Live. Bye-bye.